Now, so it means like this, that there was the parsha with the Tevema v'Sitoema, but afterwards, Hashem said, I love you so much. I want right now Vasili Mikdash. That means I want to create a matzav of Hashras HaShechina on you, that you shouldn't be able to have any connection to Chet. You shouldn't lower yourself into this low place which is called Chet. That's what I want to do for you. That means the closeness that we have between us, I'm afraid that something is going to come in between and it's going to block the connection that we have. I don't want that to happen. So Vasili Mikdash, Chanti B'Sochem, then there won't be Chet. But the pasuk, so it comes out that the Marsha says in the beginning that it's not a shinui harotzen. The Vasili Mikdash is not considered changing the rotzen of Hashem from the Tevi'ema v'Sitoema, because the pshat is like this: the etzem inyan of trying to do something to prevent that there shouldn't be a matzav of chet, that's already connected to the world of bechira. The kilo, like, why should there be chet? Why should there be chet? Because Hashem created bechira. Bechira is something that you look at it as if it's disconnected from Hashem. That's what bechira is. That keilu, that a person can do what he wants. That can't be written in the Torah. That's why it doesn't mention it. In the Torah only said to V'ema v'Sitoema. And it's not called a Shinui HaRotzen because the Vasili Mikdash is something that's connected to a possibility of having Chet. And a possibility of having Chet is already something that belongs to the world of Bechira, which over there is given over to a person. So over there, it's kibiyachol, things can change over there. So I'm saying, so this is what Hashem said. Le'olam tevema v'sitoema. But then Hashem said, but I love you so much. And I know that I gave over to you the koach of Bechir, that you could do something to be pogim in that love. So I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to make a Vasili Mikdash. And that's the Mikdash of before the Chet eiger. Then there's Vasili Mikdash of after the Chet eiger, which is mamish machaper on the Chet. So according to that, it's answered the kasha. Le'olam, the mishkan is to be mechaper on Chet eiger. But there's a higher madrega in kapar on Chet eiger gufa. There's a higher madrega which is called not allowing the Chet to come. And that's something that belongs to people, so it's not a shinui harotzen, but mitzad sheni, it is connected to Chet. Because it's connected to Chet, it's not considered a shinui harotzen, but it is the union of Ava of Hashem to Klal Yisrael, that he wants of Vasili Mikdash. Now, I'm going to say it in very bekitzer to sum up. I might not have said it clear enough. So I'm going to say it now, bekitzer nimrod, in short. The pshat is, the mishkan has in it two inyonim. It has in it the love of Hashem to Klal Yisrael, and it has in it the prevention of Chet, and they're both one thing. Not to allow Chet means that the love is so great, we have to do something not to let anything get in and break that up. Not, in the end, this I can remember. I want to say that this we could take for ourselves, for our own life. We could take chizuk from this. Sometimes a person sees that he fell, he was nichsha, he falls into a yush. Over here it comes out what Hashem did is, even after the Chet eiger, which was the greatest yerida that there ever was in Klal Yisrael, which Hashem gave a eitzah to take care of the Chet eiger, to be mechaper. It was the same mishkan that he said to make before the Chet eiger. The pshat is, a person has to know that there's a certain part, a person should always remember, there's a certain hashras hashchin, and it's kiyodua, that vasuli mikdash v'shchanti b'socham, b'soch libo shel kol echad ve'echad. The person should know, even if he was nichshel in different things, and he fell, but he should always remember that his tikkun is not the pshat that I have to go do new things and uproot the chet. I have to connect to that nekud of neshama shenosat to be tahura, the part in me that never was nifkam. I just have to connect to that, and memela the chet will fall off. It's the same vasuli mikdash that was before the chet is the same one as the one that was given after the chet, and we have to always remember that. And even when we're in nichsha, but there's always a part of us that wasn't nichsha. And by connecting to that, we can get out of all the yeridas, and we can taka be zocha to the ve'emese v'shochanti b'sochel. I just want to add, the leibel eiger says, it should scare a person. He says, v'shochanti b'sochel. Hashem is resting on every one of us. So, and what are we doing? We're sitting around reading a newspaper, talking shtoyot, discussing politics, thinking about who knows what. And Hashem is resting on us. Oi! How can we live? How can we live in such a way? It should be, I mean, how can you get out of such a sibuch, such a confusion? Says Rabbi Eiger, the answer is like this. If you think about yourself, so it's a big problem. I'm what I am, and on the other hand, Hashem is resting on me. How can I put together me and Hashem's Shechina resting? But if you don't think about yourself, so Baruch Hashem came down to Olam Hazeh, and I have a zchus to take a chelik and bringing him down to Olam Hazeh. Yeah, of course I'm nothing. Of course I was pogrom. Of course I'm a shofar, a bozoi. And still, but Hashem said, "V'shachanti b'sochim," you have this chus to help bring down the Shras HaShechina in this world. It should bring the greatest simcha. It should bring. That's what leibel eiger says. And if we think this machshava again, this can mamish get a person out of his yerida, out of his shifrus, and be'emes connect to the v'shachanti b'sochim.
V'koach Rav Kaplan.